Hi guys, welcome back. So road to Tokyo, we're looking at Wales post Six Nations. Now clearly Grand Slam champions, psychologically fantastic. Let's have a look at the actual games. And there's no cricket score wins here, but even when it's close, they weren't really that close to losing. Possibly against France, they're a little bit slow starters, but in the World Cup you have pool stages for that, so that should be okay. But generally very decisive. Certainly against Ireland, they saved the best till last and really put them away. So even though the scores are close, generally they don't look like losing. Positives: mental toughness, winning mentality, and their defensive organisation is just brilliant. Not the quickest centres, for example, but they really get in position. They know how to tackle, they know how to get back in position, count numbers, and in the backfield, players like Adams and Williams have been brilliant at positioning their backfield. Halfpenny's going to have a struggle getting back in at fullback after that Six Nations from Williams. So players, like I've mentioned, Adams has had a really big tournament, probably first choice now, so that's just a meteoric rise for him. And the Anscombe-Biggar debate, I was saying you have to decide who your best player is. It looks like Anscombe's the starter, but I think they're both almost as good as each other, and they don't seem worried about that competition. So Anscombe-Biggar and Adams I would put there as real positives for them. Negatives, well, I think possibly if they're going to win a World Cup, say against New Zealand, they might need a little bit more in attack. They might need a bit more creativity, a bit more flair. But those are things you can work on in training camps, on the field, in team meetings, etc. So those are things you could certainly add. They've got the quality of player. If they add a bit of layer into their attack, they could be really in there with a chance. Players that have been weak, I'm not sure there have been many. When you win a Grand Slam, it's hard to pick out players. I think they're going to need Toby Faletau back. I think he adds a bit of extra creativity to that back line, so the back row. But, I don't think there's any massive negatives. So best 15, Evans, Owens, Francis. Beard and Jones, I would say, in the second row. It's quite close between Beard and Hill, but the way that Beard swims through those mauls, the physicality he brings, the way they're playing at the moment, I'd say he probably fits in probably the best. Navidi's going to take some moving at 6. When Faletau's back, where does Moriarty go? At the moment, I've got Navidi, Tipuric, Faletau as the best back row. Gareth Davis and Anscombe. It looks like Anscombe's the starting 10, but I'd be very happy with Biggar in there. Then we've got North and Adams on the wings, Williams at fullback, and Parks and Davies, Jonathan Davies, in the centres. Very strong team, very physical team, very settled team as well. So what are their chances of winning the World Cup? Well, we can know they can cope mentally when the going gets tough. However, Wales use their emotion very well. But can you go to that emotional well 3 times in a row in knockout games, in a big pool game? They're going to have to win some games quite comfortably, more on technique and system, and then dip into that emotional well occasionally. Now, Gatland will know about that. He'll know when to push the emotional buttons and when to say, let's just go through our systems. If they can get to the World Cup final and they're fresh mentally and physically, they've got a good chance. But it's how they manage that that is going to dictate how well they do. Anyway, guys, comment, let me know what you think about that. Until next time, I will see you then.